now he's really true to the plays, and he's true to the line of scrimmage. So he's definitely comfortable now. He's obviously done a good job.
Yeah, I think, Coach, he appears.
And welcome in. It is the MBR Game of the Week from a frigid Windham High School. Portland will kick off, and yes, sirree, bub, you better bet they're going to be having a holder on for this one. MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. That ball is bobbled, picked up, back at the 20, and they'll start right there. And that was number 20 for Windham with the football. And I'll get you that in just a second. That was Tanner Bernier. And away we go. Steve?
We will continue to try to keep talking in an effort to keep our mouths unthawed and unfrozen as we bring you this wonderful Class A North final, Maddie.
Could anything else crazy happen tonight? We'll see what happens. Other than the win, beautiful night for football. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Back at the 15-yard line. Bernier is going to roll off to the left-hand side. He's going to find some yardage. He's going to get up the middle to the 40, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, into Portland territory and down inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. What a huge start for the Windham Eagles.
Pasquale was the lone Portland Bulldog back to defend against Bernier. Broke through the left-hand side. A very talented quarterback is Tanner Bernier. Does a nice job distributing the football for this Windham Eagles club. Really throws the football. A very, very difficult runner to contain. And we'll hear his name all night on the defensive side. Right now, he's worried about trying to get these Eagles down for an early score in this game. Great blocking on the left-hand side there up front. Bernier in the shotgun here. Snap is off. He's going to run it again off to the left-hand side. Pick up, he'll be out to the first down. He's going to go all the way out to about the 5. They'll mark him down officially just past the 5. It'll be at the 6, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 5 for Windham. 2 plays, 2 first downs here for Windham. And right away, the Eagles have found something to work offensively. A lot of Tanner Bernier off the left-hand side. Portland back on their heels a little bit. Shotgun formation yet again, single back for Bernier. Splits to his left and right. It's going to be all Bernier again to the left-hand side in close for the touchdown, not officially marked, and it is. Touchdown, Eagles, Tanner Bernier, 6-0 right away.
And just like that, if you were worried about a low-scoring game here tonight, the Windham Eagles are here to remind you that, yes, things are happening. 11 minutes, 47 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Windham Eagles lead 6-0.
Impressive, and guess what? My guess is we're going to see a whole heck of a lot more of that until Portland stops it.
Kick is up, kick is good. It's 7-0. We'll be right back. It is the MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. On the radio, it's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. We will be right back.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Welcome back. It's MBR Game of the Week. 6-0. Windham with the lead early. Oh, that's right. The scoreboard is cooked, right? I believe somebody said. Frozen.
That's what I believe, because I do believe more than 13 seconds have come off of this clock. So it'll be interesting for us to keep you updated in terms of how much time is left and what the heck is going on, because we don't have much access to that information. We'll tell you what the score is.
We do not know. We do not know. Kick is away. fielded back at the 31-yard line by Portland. Up to the 42-yard line is where the Bulldogs will take over, down 7-0. Teron Moss and the Bulldogs ready to take over here, down 7-0 here early in the first quarter.
Trying not to make too much out of the fact that you don't have an active scoreboard. You got to figure the game of football was invented long before electricity, and long before you had an electronic scoreboard out on the field to keep track of what was going on. So these young men are going to have to figure it out because they don't have any other option. The opportunity to go to a state championship football game next weekend.
Moss in the shotgun. Handoff. And that's going to go up the middle and into Windham territory, just barely, just shy of Windham territory at the 49-yard line. That is number 7, Vinny Pasquale, who played a big role in quite a few Portland games this year.
Well, he's been all over the football field. He plays a pivotal role in special teams, made a big stop defensively there and prevented a long touchdown run from Bernier. That time, a nice run from Pasquale.
Early first quarter, 7-0 Windham Eagles. CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on the radio side of things. Moss goes up the middle. He's going to get a couple of yards. Tough sledding, but into Windham territory, and it'll be 3rd and short for the Bulldogs.
Boy, I heard a great interview that you had on the B list earlier today with Coach Perkins. Talked a lot about using layers on their defensive side to try to stop Moss. Really, players have got to respect their lane and not try to gang up and get too close to one another when you try to tackle Teron Moss. He'll bounce to the outside and break one all the way down. So containment really means keeping enough space between you and your teammate. See if you can get him. Wow. A pretty steady wind here.
Slightly steady.
Yep.
Might want to put your hand in front of your mic because the wind is cutting the mics out. Moss back to pass. Instead is going to run it. He's going to get out of bounds for the first down out to the 42-yard line. See if that helps a little bit here.
Trying.
We're doing what we can here with the elements that we've been given.
We are most certainly doing the best we can with what we have. Short of an Eskimo suit, I don't know that much would be effective. This one's rugged.
I'll tell you what, though, kids are active. They're all suited up. Couple of those kids down there, a few of them actually. A lot of that defensive line, those linebackers, no sleeves, man.
Oh, tough.
And back is Moss, and there is Lebrecq to tackle him back to the 50-yard line. Lebrecq was ejected from the first playoff game
Against Chevrolet.
Early in that game. So he was out of that game. So that meant he was automatically kept out of last week's win against Edward Little. Lebrecq back this week, and very appreciative that his team and his teammates gave him a chance to keep trucking.
Certainly picked him up last week with a big win against Edward Little. People were uncertain what to expect of EL coming off a bye week following the loss to Lewiston, but Windham got it done, hosting a playoff game here.
Moss back to pass. Pass is incomplete. That was intended for number 88, Nico Levitt.
Thought Michael Hoffer had a couple interesting points in terms of Teron Moss. Still had the training wheels on when we covered this game down at Fitzpatrick Stadium between the Eagles and the Bulldogs, and really getting a feel for the quarterback position. We've had a chance to see Moss play a couple of times since then. I'll tell you, Matty, he's impressed me each and every time that we've seen him, and we saw him throw the ball a little bit more against Lewiston. I think that the weather takes some of that out tonight, but a very, very talented kid, and kudos to him for stepping up and really making a difference to this Portland club.
Again, the scoreboard clock is out, so I cannot give you the time. So if you're looking for score and time, can't give it to you. I know it's the first quarter. Windham leads 7-0. It is 3rd and 5. Moss is going to run it himself off the side, and he's not going to gain much. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage and get shut down, and that's going to set up a 4th and 5 here for the Bulldogs.
And it was that big sack that Lebrecq had, getting in the backfield and pushing Moss back 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, that really put Portland back on their heels. They haven't been able to develop any sort of rhythm on offense, and now being forced to kick it away.
Punt is away. And Bernier is going to let that one roll, and that's going to roll out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 7-0. Portland trails Windham here in the Northern A final.
3 plays for Windham on their first offensive series, 2 first downs and a touchdown. All Tanner Bernier to the left-hand side. What do you think? More Tanner Bernier to the left-hand side?
I would.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I think that's the way you go at this point. Until they stop you. Look, if you can build up a 3-touchdown lead before they stop that, keep trucking.
Yeah, really forced Portland's hand. I mean, making this a 2-score game this early in the contest, still in the first quarter, would be a huge, huge benefit here for the Eagles. Portland, a team that's come back, though, all year long. They're not a team that's going to give up in the first quarter. You'll see them put all 48 minutes down.
There's some type of delay here, not sure.
It's
well, the ball's blowing on its own, so that's the first thing.
Timeout Windham.
Going to take a timeout here. We'll take a timeout as well. You are watching the MBR Game of the Week.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called tax.
Welcome back. Into the first quarter, 7-0. Windham with the lead over Portland. The clock actually worked for a second. Looks like there's 8:04 remaining in the quarter, and now you're going to have a false start coming out of the timeout for Windham. So not quite the hottest start after the super hot start. The follow-up to the hot start, not so much.
So we call a week 1 penalty right there.
Right.
The dreaded false start out of the timeout. Oh, man. That's one that, yeah.
So it looks like the way the clock is running is when there's going to be a stoppage of play, they're going to try to relay up the time.
Okay, we'll take
by
that.
The gathering I'm gathering here. Bernier in the shotgun is going to run it himself, and guess what? He's going to run it off to the left. It's going to get out to about the 6-yard line. Gain of about 2. Be 2nd and 13 for the Eagles, who lead 7-0 here in the first quarter.
When you have a game like this, when you've got a windy game, we talk a lot about how the rushing game and the defense travels well. Time of possession becomes the most critical stat here in this game.
And that play just gets blown up in the backfield. Portland's defense seemed to got caught off guard in that first series, but they've really stiffened here on the second drive. It'll be 3rd and long as Salem got stopped back in the backfield.
They've made a correction up front and have plugged up whatever gap the Eagles were exploiting off to the left-hand side. You wonder whether or not play action becomes an opportunity here. Bernier very talented in that play action rollout pass.
Bernier runs it himself, keeps his legs churning, and he is going to be just shy of the first down, real close out to the 20, out to the 19-yard line. Had to get to the 20. It'll be 4th and 1. So Windham will have to punt here on a 4th and a short 2.
Well, you got to be happy if you're Coach Mike Rutherford on the defensive side for the Portland Bulldogs after giving up 3 big plays and letting Windham march down the field and giving up a score. A nice defensive standpoint, hold. For Portland, almost frozen. Not quite.
Almost.
And an opportunity for a very dangerous special teams unit here from Portland.
This wind, by the way, in case you're wondering, is blowing left to right, which means it's blowing directly into us. So if there is a punt here, be careful of the direction of it. Bernier continues to be in the shotgun. And he got Portland to go offsides. Are you kidding me? First down, Eagles.
Yep, be a first down. It was well inside that 5-yard mark. And Bernier originally looked like he was going to take a long shotgun, maybe a pooch punt, and then he came up to the line, barked out a snap count. Portland jump at it. Smart play. Smart players make smart plays at smart times. Very, very heads-up play there by Bernier.
7-0 Windham here in the first quarter in the game of the week.
It's one thing this Windham coaching staff really does well is give their players some great awareness out on the field.
Bernier is going to run it himself. Stutter steps, and he'll gain about 2. Looks like they're going to mark him. Actually, going to get out past the 25, out to the 26. So a gain of about 3. Be 2nd and 7.
I'll tell you, that time of possession, Matty, that these rush efforts just keep the clock churning down. And you got to imagine Coach Perkins with that 7-point lead, very happy right now with the fact that he's able to get consistent offense out of his unit. Nice job up front. Big Connor McInnes and Justin Lebrecht setting the tone on that O-line.
2nd and 7, handoff, Salem. He slices, and he's going to get yanked back inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Salem seems to be at his best when he's running north and south, but when he starts to hesitate, he who hesitates is lost.
Yeah, Salem, by my opinion, one of the hidden secrets here in Class A North. A guy that we've seen do some impressive things early in the season. I believe it was a thumb issue that he had, a fractured thumb. I can't recall exactly, but I know there was an injury that kept him sidelined. A very dangerous runner, not overly big, athletic kid, but very fast, very quick, and speed kills at this level, every level.
Pitch. That'll be Valaire over the 30, out to the 33-yard line. I think that's going to be enough for a first down.
Looks like he got it, and they did. They're going to reset the chain. So Trevor Valaire picking up another Eagles first down. I'll tell you, Trevor, another guy that has been a pivotal, just when you think it's going to be Bernier, just when you think it's going to be Salem, all of a sudden Trevor gets that dive option, quick hitter. Very tough to stop in the middle of those tackles.
Pitch. Valaire. It's back to the 35-yard line. Gain of about 1. Very short gain, 2nd and 9.
Looks to me like some of the mystery has been taken out of what the Eagles are going to do offensively. If they don't split anybody out to the side, Portland happy loading the box.
We got an official's timeout here to tie a shoe.
Okay.
Got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Because what we want on a night like this is tight shoes.
Right.
Tight shoes. That's what we're aiming for. Okay.
Do a loop-de-loop and pull. Your shoes are looking cool.
You can go out there without sleeves, but tie your shoes tight.
Yeah, tie. 3:43 remaining in the first quarter, apparently, with the clock ticking. Bernier is going to run it himself, and he's going to lose 1 back to the original line of scrimmage at the 34, and it'll be 3rd and 10, 7-0 Windham.
This cold is easy to get through in the first quarter. Late in that second quarter and that halftime transition, that's when it really starts to grind you down. Right now, still playing off some of the newness. Both teams really feel like they're right in the middle of this battle, but I'll tell you, Windham can do a big service to themselves if they can go down and put some points on this board and make it a 2-possession football game.
Bernier's going to run it off to the right, to the 35, to the 40. He's going to get some yardage. 45, 50, back to the 45. He's going to get down the sidelines, but there's a holding penalty way back that's going to pull this one back. Bernier gets down to the 22-yard line, but that flag was, and it was after the, it was well after the play.
I'm so glad you made that comment, Matty, because that's exactly what I had a problem with. Bernier was 2 yards beyond that hold. That's a tough hold to have when your block isn't really springing him loose or helping him stay loose. He got some tremendous blocking down the football field. Really a nice job by some of these receivers from Windham to get down the field, clear out some space. Caleb Cedre, only a freshman, a guy who's had to step up and start for Salem a couple of times, did a nice job getting down the field. unfortunately, they headed the wrong way. Second penalty here for Windham.
3rd and 13. That'll move them back to the 31.
The inclination is to pass here, but I got to tell you, I keep it on the ground.
I don't think there is any need to pass anything this evening.
Right.
Bernier will run it off to the right, and he will not find nearly as much yardage as he did on the last play. He'll be tackled back inside the 30-yard line, and with the clock ticking down here in the first quarter, 7-0.
I didn't see when they last changed the clock, but it's down to 1:57. So we're inside.
It just happened.
It just happened. Okay.
It just happened. I don't know if the clock's catching up.
It's better than still saying 11:47, though. I mean,
that is key. It shows there's some type of progress.
We can certainly, with a large degree of certainty, let you know we are nearing the end of the first quarter. With a large degree of certainty.
Let's say we want to say that, but we've got another timeout.
Oh yeah. Pardon me.
And that timeout will be an official's timeout, a Windham timeout. Do we know?
We have not been told.
Is it?
Listen, if we want to keep the timeout tracker in check, we got to know. I believe it was a Portland timeout.
All right. We'll take a quick break. We will be right back. You are watching the MBR Game of the Week on MBR.org. If you're listening on the radio, you listen on Maine's Big Z, 92.7 and Sports Time 780. We will be right back. Actually, that was, I think they're calling that the end of the first quarter.
Oh, okay.
There we go. We'll be right back.
Winter People Athletics creates custom athletic apparel, including team uniforms and spirit wear. They support team sports programs by offering a variety of clothing and other merchandise which can be personalized with team logos, player numbers, and names, and various other options. They can also provide innovative custom screen printing and embroidered apparel to create fun and engaging fan and booster items to sell for your team fundraising efforts. Call Steve Haynes, Athletic Apparel Consultant, at 207-869-6019 or online at winterpeople.com.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care.
Welcome back. MBR Game of the Week.
Offsides again from Portland.
Well, this one will not, however, give them a first down. They'll move them up 5 yards, though. I mean, if you can get them to do it 2 more times, you know.
Same guy.
You have to do a couple more times, all right.
Fool me once.
I don't blame him.
Fool me twice.
He probably has an internal body clock that says, please move every, so many seconds. So he could just be shivering, too. 4th and 10. Punt is away. And that looked like it was kicking a brick, and that almost hit the trainer on the sidelines. I'm not sure where they're going to angle that out at, but Steve, do you remember when you were a kid and you were playing, and I don't know what type of footballs you had, but did you ever get one of those Headstrom footballs?
Yeah, I did.
That was like kind of plastic on the end?
Yeah.
And then it was usually okay, but if you kicked it and punted it at the end of the football, it was like your foot broke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without question. That's exactly what it looked and sounded like.
That punt just looked and felt just like that.
I had a little twinge in my foot when he hit it.
Just a little one.
Yeah.
Just slightly. Just underway here in the second quarter, 7-0 Windham. Tanner Bernier scored on the game's opening drive. Early start here tonight, 6 o'clock kickoff if you're just joining us. Moss around the corner gets stopped at the 41-yard line and isn't going to gain anything, might even lose a half a yard.
Just not a lot of development with that play. Portland, a team that likes to play with a lot more pace, and I'll tell you what, developing rhythm and pace on a cold night like this, very difficult. I believe we have a player down. And we do.
I believe so. We'll see if they get up expeditiously or not.
No? Yeah. We do have a player now.
Okay. Well, nobody seems to be in a big hurry about it because they're all getting back up to the line, so it seems kind of interesting. 7-0, Windham with the lead. There we go. Looks like everything's all set now. Zach Elowich was on the ground there for a little bit. Looks like he's all set now. Second down. Moss runs it himself over the far. Excuse me, that was not Moss. That was a handoff. That was Elowich. He gets up past the 45 to the 42nd. Maybe that's what it was. He was getting warmed up.
Trying to anyway. See if he could figure out something that would maybe try to generate a little bit of speed, a little bit of rhythm for Portland. Really haven't found anything that's worked. They've been able to get bursts in 3 or 4 yards, but by and large, Eagles doing a nice job of containing them when Portland has the football, and the Eagles also doing a nice job of controlling that time of possession when they do have it offensively.
3rd and 5. Handoff. Elowich took him a second to find the handle, and he's going to get taken down at the 46-yard line. Taken down by a number 25 for Windham. He had him right by the feet. That was Nathan Watson.
Nathan Watson.
I believe Mr. Grover's still out.
75, yep.
Yeah,
he is.
So Portland will have to punt here in the second quarter. 7-0, Windham with the lead. Elowich's punt.
Wow.
Folks, I don't know if you saw that as it lands down at the 38-yard line, but that was a fairly well-struck punt, and that ball just stopped in midair at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah.
And just kind of slid down.
It looked like a Phil Mickelson pitching wedge from like 110 yards, like a nice sloping rise, and then just fell straight down.
I have seen some things. I have not seen that in a very long time. There's people here that are wearing blankets, and I think they're realizing that the blankets at this point have become more like parachutes or parasails.
Pack of 20 people that just said, you know what, this game's on the radio? Okay. And they're gone. I think we've got a crew listening in the parking lot. If you're here, honk your horns.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll hear them. If their horns aren't chilly. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. And that run will gain about a half yard, maybe 1. That was Watson with a carry. Just shy of the 40, so it will be a gain of 1. 2nd and 9.
Another offensive tool that Coach Perkins likes to go to. It really does a nice job sharing the load with different guys on this offensive side. That creates a very, very tough set for Portland to defend against.
7-0 Windham with the lead here in the second quarter. They got the football. It's 2nd and 9. Handoff. Salem up the middle to the 45-yard line. Gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 3. Tough run there. He went north and south, and guess what? Gained positive yardage.
Well, if you fall forward, you're still gaining progress, right? If you fall forward because you're still advancing towards that first down marker. That's what a lot of these guys do for Windham. They know where they got to get to, and never, ever do you see them falling backwards. A fundamental that if you ingrain at the right level and reinforce all the way up through, I'll tell you, it becomes very valuable when it's a shared skill set across that offensive back position. Hey, receivers too.
Bernier in the shotgun is going to keep it himself. He's going to bounce it out to the outside of the 45, and he is going to be just shy of the first down. It's going to be 4th and
they'll mark it.
A half a yard.
They're going to have to take a measurement here.
He kind of got turned back there at the end instead of falling forward to get it. That was some pretty solid tackling there by Portland. So, 3 for 3 on offsides penalties, Steve? Did that happen here?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you better be pretty disciplined if you're Portland here, because it will cost you a fresh set of downs for the Eagles. I got to tell you, if I'm Coach Perkins, I think I'm going for it here. Offensively, Portland hasn't done a whole lot to penetrate that offensive line and get into the backfield. I feel like he can pick up a yard here pretty quick.
Maybe just QB sneak it. 4th and short. And they're going to hand it off to the up back. That's Valaire, and he's going to get inside Portland territory down to the 48-yard line. more than enough for a first down, and Windham keeps those chains moving.
Quick snap count that time by Bernier, getting right up under the center, and McKenna snapped it away quick. Nice job by everybody up front getting off the football, clearing out the lanes. Picking up a fresh set of down for the Eagles. Windham right now clicking offensively here in this Class A North final. And some of the faithful continue to file out.
Shuffling. They're in and out. I've seen some down comforters here tonight,
Yep.
which is pretty impressive. Bernier out of the shotgun, down the sidelines, and out to the 47-yard line. Excuse me, out to the 43-yard line. Second quarter, 7-0 Windham. I would give you the exact time, but the scoreboard not clocking it out. So is clocked out at this point.
We haven't had a timeout or anything yet that would allow them to communicate that time. So, yeah, we have no general idea.
There is, I don't want to say there's a lot of ball control going on here, Steve, but it seems like there's a lot of ball control going on.
Can you imagine spraining your ankle on a night like tonight and having to put ice on it?
Oh goodness gracious. Bernier breaks a tackle, and he's going to get up past the 35 and down to the 33-yard line for another Eagles first down. Portland Bulldogs defense is back on their heels. This is as sharp as the Windham Eagles, I think, have looked in weeks.
And look, it's no discredit to how athletic the Portland club is. You got a bunch of guys over there that do a nice job chasing down the football, but right now Windham seems to be overmatching them. A lot of people like Portland in this game, sort of the Cinderella pick. They've come on late the second half of this year. Right now, Windham having their way.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Valère breaks through, hangs on to the football, down to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and short.
Boy, I formation that time with two tight ends, and not a formation we see Windham run a whole lot out of. And the pitch to Valère. Nice job on the left-hand side blocking. Valère able to take a full head of steam up through the line and convert on that first down run. A second very manageable down and distance here for the Eagles. Tiptoeing on that red zone line.
Got to tell you, I'm somewhat impressed with the attendance here tonight.
Yeah.
I formation, 2nd and short. Handoff. Valère grinds forward, breaks through, is not tackled. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, Windham Eagles.
No give up in Trevor Valère. I'll tell you, a tough runner, a tough interior runner. He does a nice job catching the football, but used exclusively here on the rushing side. Bernier riding the hot hand, handing it off to Trevor. And nice job by Valère marching into the end zone, putting 6 more points on the board for Windham.
Another long drive. Low snap. Kick is up. That kick is good. 2 straight extra points made by Windham. They lead Portland 14-0. You're watching the game of the week. We'll be right back.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here. I'd tell you the time, but 5:50 remaining in the first half, according to that clock. The clock has not running / winding. It's only getting updated on breaks.
Static clock only.
14-0. Windham with a lead over Portland. Pasquale can't hang on to the football. He tracks back to get it at the 11, runs it back to the 19-yard line, grinds forward to the 20, and that's where the Bulldogs will take over, down 14-0 on a chilly night here at Windham High School.
Yeah, and really, Portland's got to find something that they can go to here and try to get a score back into this game. Very, very, very tough circumstances to be up against. Windham started with the football, scored on its first possession, did not on its second, but did on its third. Chewed up a bunch of time, and right now, this game has been all Windham Eagles.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Moss is going to go out into the flat here. And they're going to snap it to Elowich out of the Wildcat. They gain about a yard, 2nd and 9.
Yeah,
different look there.
I don't think Coach Perkins is going to be upset about seeing Teron Moss go all the way out on the edge, because you got to do a lot of work to get him the football as opposed to snapping it directly to him. I think they'll be happy with Elowich getting the direct slap there.
Second quarter, somewhere under 5:50 remaining. 14-0 Windham with the lead. CMCC Hammond Lower Game of the Week on Maine's Big Z 92.7 and Sports Time 780. MBR Game of the Week on MBR Sport on YouTube and MBR.org. Moss runs it to the outside, gets some yardage. Out to the 25, to about the 26-yard line, and will make it 3rd and manageable 3. And this is a big 3rd down here for the Bulldogs. You don't want to go 3 and out again here in the second.
You gotta be careful. You gotta. Oh. Yeah, you got to be careful. You cannot continue to turn the ball back over to this Windham Football Club and allow them to keep marching down the field. The field position matters here. First down has got to be huge for the Bulldogs.
2 receivers to the near side, right. Moss up the middle is going to be shy of a first down. He's going to get stopped in between the 38 and the 39-yard line. Had to get to the the 28 and the 29-yard line. Had to get to the 30 for a first down.
I'll tell you what, Windham is playing some fantastic defense, staying very disciplined. Everybody's staying in the right space, not over-pursuing.
Elowich is going to punt it. And let me tell you, little line drive and out at the Portland 48-yard line. That punt is going to net approximately 18 yards. First and 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, not much more than his last punt. The rocket punt that didn't go very far once it got up in the air. So Elowich has got to find something in between those two if they want to push Windham any further back. You cannot continue to turn the ball over to Windham, especially on your own side of the 50. 3:46 left to go. That is the unofficial time in the first half.
Halftime, Mike Lowe from the Portland Press-Herald is scheduled to stop by. I don't know for how long. I don't know how long I'd make the poor guys stay out airing this. First and 10 for Bernier. I formation. Pitch. Salem. Can't find a lot of yardage and gets off the line of scrimmage. Doesn't seem like Salem is super comfortable taking it out of the pitch like that.
Well,
not that it's probably easy to pitch it tonight when it's going like this.
Not an easy night to pitch it, and I don't think he's getting enough touches on a regular enough basis to get that comfortability. It's really a big ask of Salem to come in cold like that. But the kid's up for the challenge, and you know he's going to take every opportunity that he can and see if he can't try to get around some of these Bulldogs.
Bernier in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side left. Bernier's going to run it off to his left. Inside the 45, down to the 40, inside the 35, and down to the 31-yard line for an Eagles first down. More good running from Tanner Bernier, who just seems to be taking him and Trevor Valaire are just taking the Windham Eagles on their back, trying to get them to Fitzpatrick Stadium next Saturday.
tell you what, Braxton Cassidy is doing an absolutely bang-up job on the left-hand side of that line, carrying the blocks down the field. That's the rear end that Tanner Bernier is following, and he's running the color. Cassidy doing a nice job clearing it out.
And we got a whistle. Timeout?
Yeah.
Timeout, Portland. That'll be their second timeout. We'll take a break, and we'll come right back. Late in the first half, 14-0, Windham with the lead. We'll be right back.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Welcome back. It is the MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. On the radio side of things, it's on Maine's Big Z, 92.7 Sports Time 780. It's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week.
Looks like Windham's switching it up a little bit. Instead of going with the traditional water at the timeout break, hot chocolates for everyone. A tray of hot chocolates.
Looks like Grover's out there on the line.
Yeah, sure
Steve.
does. I see Big 75.
Making a difference. Bernier down the middle, touchdown on the left hash mark, 28 yards, touchdown, Windham Eagles late in the first half, 20-0.
Matt Perkins saw something on film on the right-hand side of the defensive line for the Bulldogs that he thought he could exploit. He had a lot of confidence in the left side of his O-line, and Tanner Bernier left again. Absolutely eviscerates the Bulldogs. Now, Windham looks to make this a 21-0 game. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play.
Snap, hold, fake. 2-point conversion is good. Nice play there by and nice catch by Matty Babb. Good throw as well. And it is 15-0. Excuse me, 22-0. Windham with a lead here late in the first half. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Game of the Week.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Welcome back. Kick is away. Windham leads 22-0. Fielded by Pasquale. Dangerous on the special teams. Bounces it back outside the 20, and they're going to track him down at the 21-yard line and push him back. Late in the first half. 22-0. Windham with the lead over Portland.
Yeah, so I had to had a little wardrobe malfunction, so I had to take my gloves off and tie a knot. So my hands should thaw out by January, I'm hoping.
Possibly.
Wow. I mean,
by the way, remind me to bring this piece of the tripod back upstairs too.
How tough do these kids have to be? Like, legitimately, Maddie, this is pretty intense weather.
My hats are off, and my respect is totally to these kids playing in this game.
No doubt. No
This
doubt.
this is tough conditions for anybody, let alone high school kids. Moss can't find the handle, drops the ball. He's going to run it up past the 25 and out to about the 26-yard line. (22-0) Windham late in the first half. Clock is broken, so I can't give you the exact time, but I know it's under 2 minutes at this point. So a whole bunch of folks that are feeling pretty confident about taking off here.
Yeah. I think they've seen what they want to see.
They feel confident that good things are happening. Moss looking, going to run it. He's going to get in trouble, and he's going to go back at the 21-yard line. Good defensive play there by number 56 for the Windham Eagles, Connor McGinnis, tracking down Moss. Eagles defense, by the way, takes a timeout here. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be right back here on the Game of the Week.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Welcome back. 22-0. Windham with the lead over Portland late in the first half. Third and long. Windham takes a timeout. They have one left. Third and long for Portland here. Windham looking to get the ball back. Punting has been an adventure. Passing has been non-existent. Handoff, Pasquale on the jet sweep, and he's going to get up to the original line of scrimmage. And Windham will take another timeout to stop the clock here and see if they can tack another touchdown on the board.
Yeah.
We'll keep it here.
Pure clock management once again from Coach Perkins. He wants every second that he can on this clock, because if he can turn this into a 21-0, right?
Right. 22-0.
22-0.
Remember, they got the 2-point conversion.
The scoreboard thing has to be so, I mean, there is enough going on that I am just like, orientation is an issue.
Oh, boy.
All right, so 22-0.
Right.
So he's got a chance to make this a 30-point game, Matty.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Elowich is back to punt. If you've seen the punts, trust me, it's not the kids. They're doing their best.
Into the wind, too.
One of them actually held up at about the 43-yard line. Bad snap, can't find the handle, and this is why the Windham Eagles took all those timeouts. They're going to be inside the 10-yard line, down to the 6, late in the first half with a chance to pour it on the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, this is it's a coaching thing. It's Matt Perkins smells the blood in the water. The Sharks start to circle. He gets the idea that he's got Portland back on its heels. It's really just wanting to get in at halftime and kind of shuffle up and deal. Instead, the Eagles double down defensively, get the big stop, use the timeouts, and then a big special teams play there. I'll tell you, Windham in prime position here to make this a big, big game.
22-0, Windham with the lead late in the first half. I do not believe they have any timeouts remaining. First and goal at the 10. Bernier in the I formation. Salem is the deep back. Pitch to Salem, and play is blown dead immediately. I'm going to call a false start here on Windham.
Yep. I think it was a receiver that jumped right in front of the side judge.
Did they count shivering, jumping in this game, Steve?
Yeah.
You think?
Going to count for me.
Right.
I have now. We're good sized men.
Right.
I have literally been rocked onto my heels by some of this wind.
Yes, I've had to turn my back a couple of times.
Pushed right back onto my heels.
I had to put the monitor down so it would stop getting knocked over. This is some conditions, kids. Pitch, Salem off the right side, and he'll get back to about the original line of scrimmage. Windham's going to have to hurry. I don't think the passing game is going to be much here. Only one pass so far, and that was on the 2-point conversion. Bernier fakes the pass, throws it, has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! Wow. Beautiful fake toss and pass to Nathan Watson. Mr. Watson, I presume, and it is 28-0. Windham, the Bulldogs, in the doghouse.
Hey, you got to go with what you know, and a great play call. Portland not at all expecting the play action pass. Bernier selling it perfectly. Watson doing a nice job. Chip blocking and then leaking into the end zone. Beautiful throw and catch there by the Eagles.
Kick is up. Kick is good. Late in the first half, Windham leads 29-0. We will take a break. We'll be right back here on the Game of the Week.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Welcome back. I guess that was the final play of the half?
I'm so lost.
I am so lost. I no one knows. End of the first half.
End of the first half of play.
29-0 Windham. So that was the last play of the half, is what they're telling me.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
All
right. Teams are leaving the field. We'll take a break. Welcome back. Mike Lowe from the Portland Press-Herald scheduled to join us. We'll be right back. It's the MBR Game of the Week from Windham. Windham leads Portland 29-0. If you're listening to this game on the radio, it's a CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on Maine's Big Z 92.7 and Sports Time 780. Subscribe to MBR Sport on YouTube. We'll be right back.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal. We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who will get the IRS off your back.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Call Tax Solutions now. Time is running out. Call 800-399-4661. 800-399-4661. 800-399-4661.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Talking about the Auburn Lewiston YMCA with Brittany Chick-Rennie. Brittany, what's going on over at the Y?
We have a lot of exciting things happening at the Y. Our registrations for youth swim, that's all open. Everybody can jump on that, sign their kids up for swim lessons, build their water skills. And then we have our basketball registrations open right now until November 1st for grades pre-K through 6.
For more information or to sign your child up, go to alymca.org. The Auburn Lewiston YMCA is proud to support local high school athletics.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
If you are a coach, a booster, a PTA leader, Maine Athletic Fundraising is the choice to help you make money. Maine Athletic Fundraising works with both high school and youth programs of all ages to make you the most amount of money in the least amount of time. No risk, no minimums. Mark Smith and his staff will walk you through every step of their plan to help you meet your financial goals. Call them today, 207-468-1759, or check them out online, MaineAthleticFundraising.com.
Welcome in. Right out of the gate this morning, it's Abelis Daily from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios across the MBR Radio Network.
No waiting.
On Sports Time, Maine 780. Right now, we're joined by Windham head football coach Matt Perkins. Big game for them tonight, 5:30 pregame right here on Sports Time 780 and on Maine's Big Z 92.7 with video stream at mbr.org. Once again, stop me if you've heard this one before, Portland and Windham meet for the Northern A Final. Coach, I know you're glad you're in the Northern A Final, but would you like to play someone other than Portland at some point?
I'm just glad we're home this time. So, no, it doesn't matter to me. I'm fine with playing those guys. I'm glad they got to make the trip up.
Let's talk a little bit about last week's game against Edward Little. What was different from this matchup with Edward Little as opposed to the one in the regular season where you guys weren't on the winning end of the stick?
Well, I think that at the end of the regular season game with EL in the fourth quarter, and we talked right after the game with the kids, that we spotted them 13 points to start the game. We came out intimidated and, knew they were undefeated, and we let them get ahead of us to start the game. Whereas last week, we talked about it all week, about we step on the field, we can't wait. We got to get after it. End up scoring first, which was huge. Then we make that goal line stand going into halftime. And then come out second half, and we get the ball right away, drive down and score. I think that was a real big difference for us to be the aggressor and be more physical than the first game.
Coach Dave Wing here. Were you surprised? Well, Haley calls it power pistol, the formation with the two backs and Bell in the in the pistol position, that they use that so much as opposed to Bigos?
Yeah, and getting into, we call it the diamond.
Diamond. All right, I hadn't heard that.
That's kind of, it's come around the last few years, and people have been so excited for it. I got to be honest with you. If I'm on offense, I think it's the worst formation there is. I just feel like, because teams, we've run it before a few years ago, we were pretty excited about it, and teams will spike their DNs on you, and all of a sudden they're on your side of the line of scrimmage. And so in prepping for it, I had no idea they're going to run it that much, but our thought was, we got to get on the other side of the line of scrimmage and be the aggressor, and you can take away the edge pretty quick. Yeah, I was worried. The thing with them that makes it so tough, though, is that Weaver and the other receiver are out there, and you're kind of on an island. So I was nervous about the pass game out of it.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't pass the ball more. I don't know whether they were afraid that Hartley, he didn't have much time. You guys pressured him very well. But, yeah, that whole sequence of using that, especially late in the game, when they got the ball down in their own territory with a chance to, at the time it was 14-12, a chance to drive the length of the field and maybe win it. I was shocked that they went to that power formation and spent so much time.
I see, when they came out, that coach, I was figuring they're doing it for the to have those two guys back there to pass protect is what I was thinking. But you're right, they tried to run out of it. Having Bell in the backfield, I felt better than him on the edge, just because he's so dangerous. So I liked him back there.
Talking with Matt Perkins, he's the head football coach of the Windham Eagles. I believe you got Mr. Lebrecht back this week. I think that's going to be a big boon for your defense.
Yes, he's back, and excited to have him. So I'm really proud of the kids last week. Had some guys step up, and some would never even touch a field in a varsity game before stepped up last week. So it was huge.
That sounds like it's been kind of the rallying cry for you guys this year. I mean, you guys have had all sorts of folks having the next man up stuff, but there's a lot of kids that have gotten some valuable time this year, regardless of what happens tonight.
Yeah, they really have, and it's been really unpredictable, and who you're going to need and when. And I think that everybody's got their eye open and knows that they could be called, even if they don't see it coming. So. It's helped us in practice, get guys more focused, and that's really helped us through the week.
Talking with Matt Perkins, he's the head football coach of the Windham Eagles. They're in action tonight against the Portland Bulldogs. Now, when you guys played Portland the last time, it was kind of the first game for Mawson at quarterback. It was a 7-6 game. It was tight and closely contested. My guess is he's probably with a few more reps under center and around center and in the shotgun and as quarterback, he's going to be a little bit more comfortable tonight than he was in the last game.
Oh, yeah, you can actually see it on film how he's not afraid to run C-gap. Where in our game, we had a feeling he was going to be at Q, but he didn't want to be inside. He was bouncing outside. Now he's really true to the plays, and he's true to the line of scrimmage. So he's definitely comfortable now. He's obviously done a good job.
Yeah, I think, Coach, he appears to me to be somebody who he just wouldn't have a broken play as any other play. What are the kinds of things you're going to talk to your guys about, especially on the edges, to keep him from doing what he does so well?
Well, I think it's important when you play a kid that's so athletic like him is to play him in layers, and it's almost like a kickoff, and you can't just have all your guys on one line where he gets through one wall and then he's gone. You've got to be really true to pursuit angles. You've got to be good if you're not the first guy on the point, to make sure that you're not in the shadow of your teammate. Really try to smother him and set your wall and keep him inside. So we worked a ton this week with pursuit angles and again, really playing him in layers.
Coach, I love that analogy. That's exactly what it is. It's layers, and it's just like a kickoff. If you're on one line and he makes one move, he's going to go.
Right.
And that's a perfect analogy. I like it.
Well, let's see how good it looks tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Proof's in the pudding, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. We'll see if it sounds so great tonight.
How I got to ask this question. This is going to be an odd question, but the wind tonight. How does the wind? You and Portland each have kickers, so I never get to ask this question. Okay, you guys can actually kick field goals, and there's a lot of teams out there that just don't have that option. How does the wind affect the kicking game for you guys? I assume it probably shortens the range a little bit, especially if it's going to be like this all night.
Right. Well, I think there's a lot of things that play into play. I mean, you got to take into account not just if you're kicking extra points or field goals where the wind is, but if you're punting into the wind and you're the return team, you have to worry about the ball hitting one of your kids, and then all of a sudden it's a live ball and it's a turnover. You got to worry about the depth of your return if they're kicking with the wind. So there's a lot of different things you got to really consider when you're on special teams and you got the wind either in your face or in your back. So there's a lot of variables there.
Matt Parkins is the head football coach of the Windham Eagles. They will be in action tonight on the Game of the Week. You can watch that game at MBR.org. Subscribe to MBR Sport on YouTube, or you can listen to it on the radio on Maine's Big Z 92.7 or right here on Sports Time 780. Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Good luck tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not wearing shorts tonight, man. I'm not. I can't.
I'm shocked.
I'm truly disappointed in you, and I cannot believe it.
You'll have yours on,
now,
right?
There's a possibility. Of course they'll have theirs on. That's not even a question. What I might do, I may wear something underneath mine. If I wasn't just standing outside all night tonight, I'd probably go with the shorts. But I just, I got to...
You're going to look like Circuit Tom Selleck 1982 with sweatpants underneath.
Yeah, there you go.
Shorts.
That's a good one.
Hopefully I can leave in my Ferrari. That's
Good
what I'm
one.
rooting for.
I hope I don't see you if that's your outlook.
Yeah, that's true. Good one.
All right, Coach.
Take care,
Good luck
Coach.
tonight.
See you guys.
Thank you. That's Matt Perkins. He's the head football coach of the Wyndham Eagles.
Boy, did he pop that up in a hurry! Isn't
did.
Don't you remember that?
I do.
Sweatpants and the other shorts pulled over the top. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Back and forth across the field, zigzagging. He probably ran 50 yards, but only got 11 or 12. And it kind of describes the night so far for the Bulldogs. About 9.5 minutes to go here of running time in this game.
We think, anyways. Scoreboard has not worked since the beginning of the game, so we're basically at the mercy. There's been a couple of halves and quarters that have ended rather conspicuously, we'll put it that way. Moss runs it off of the left side into Windham territory, inside the 45 and down to the 40-yard line. There'll be another Portland first down. Bulldogs starting to show a little life here. Maybe a little too late, but Bulldogs not giving up.
Well, I think you get the sense that Windham is feeling good about the fact that they've got that 42-point lead, and you don't want to play too soft on that. You got to keep the same edge that has allowed you to keep this Bulldogs club scoreless up until this point. And I think that you gotta figure the only victory that's left out on this football field right now is for this Windham D to throw up a shutout. Shotgun again for Moss.
Gets a snap, looking, and he's going to take the draw up the middle, and he's going to wish he didn't. Going to keep his legs churning, though, and get inside the 40. And he could have been stopped for a loss back at the 41-yard line. That was great individual effort there by Moss on what was literally a no gain. Could have been worse.
Yeah, and what a tough kid Terron Moss is. I think A lot of the speculation around him is, look, he's going to get a chance to play basketball at the next level, and a lot of people were concerned about injuries or some of the things that he may be potentially risking to himself. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm a basketball coach and I'm looking at how tough this kid is and how gritty and nails he is, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Getting you through your fourth quarter, 42-0. Windham leads Portland. All sorts of confusion. Pasquale in motion. He's going to run it out of the jet sweep off the right side. He's going to be moving backwards. He tries to get around the corner. He does, cuts back, and he's going to get suplexed backwards. I'd say the belly-to-back suplex back at the 36-yard line by Justin Lebrecht.
That's the way that I saw it. No question.
Just to grab him and pull him back, these Portland runners are not letting up. Which I guess would answer why they're not out of the ball game yet, Steve.
Yep, that's exactly it. Coach Perkins is going to keep the ones in. I think he really wants this defensive unit to try to hold on to this shutout. You got to imagine if they stop Portland here, that'll go a long, long ways.
Following the game, there will be a short awards presentation to both teams, and fans are reminded that they will not be permitted on the playing surface.
In the fourth quarter, Moss on third down goes down the sidelines. He's going to get a first down and get knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. First down, Portland.
Boy, he continues to spring some big runs, and he's taking what the defense has given him. And right now, Windham not being as nearly as aggressive as we've seen them through the first 3.5 quarters of play, letting up a little bit. I understand it. You don't like to see it, but I definitely understand it. Windham pulls this game within 35. It can slow things down a little bit.
Just remember, let's not even discuss it. Let's just not. It's just not. Moss sends Pasquale in the jet sweep. He's going to cut it upfield to the 20, gain of 2, 2nd and 8. That clock kind of seems like it wants to work.
They're updating it. 5:31 to play.
I think it's updating on its own. It's like rogue updating. Reminder, at the end of this one, we will get you over to Skowhegan and Lawrence. That game was originally scheduled for 100.7. However, a power outage has knocked our Mexico studio off the air. You know it's bad when Walmart is out of power, okay, folks? And we're right across the street from Walmart in Mexico. They don't have power. We don't have power. So we moved the stream over. Go to MBR.org. It's on 96.9 right now. Doesn't really help your radio eyes. But stream is at MBR.org. You find it right there. And then on 92.7, right after this game is over, we'll send you to Skowhegan and Lawrence. Wing and Haley on the call.
Only in Maine can you have a faction of people, like a large faction of people, without power, and another large faction of people playing a football game.
Right.
Okay.
And I feel bad for the people that lost power, got it back, and now have lost power again. Moss up to the 20. He's going to get stuffed and stood up at the 21. $42-0. The Windham Eagles jumped out in front. Tanner Bernier with a huge play from the first play from scrimmage for the Eagles, and they have not looked back. This was like Ralphie on top of Scott Farkas. This was right on top and didn't let up until Mom pulled him off.
Watson had a rushing touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown. They converted a 2-point conversion. Salem had a nice touchdown. Really a nice job sharing the wealth and spreading the football all over the field, sideline to sideline, for this Windham team. I think it's a really fine example of a good coach team that had a great week of practice. They came out and executed the game plan that Coach Perkins wanted them to do, and they get the result right here.
Looks like Portland's going to take a timeout here. Or no, they're just going to take a little time here. 3rd and long. Working the clock. Guess there's an official timeout? Not really sure.
They had taken a timeout. That's what it was.
Pasquale on the jet sweep again, and does not gain much. He gets thrown back, and they will stop his forward progress at the 18-yard line.
Mr. Pasquale not very happy about the way that he was tackled. So a few choice words. Just about inside the 3 minutes here to go in this football game, Matty.
I would say this has been a heck of a year for the Portland Bulldogs. They started off this year 0-5, and they made it all the way to the Northern A final.
Yeah, I think if week 3, week 4, you told Coach Hartman, hey, you're going to be in the Class A North final, really? And they earned their way here. I think circumstances might have dictated a little bit different of an outcome.
4th and 7. They run it to the outside. Moss inside the 10, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds inside the 9, but you're going to have a flag down as well. They're going to call that a face mask? Yeah, it's going to be a face mask. That'll be half the distance to the goal. I was surprised. I thought there was a little bit of a hold out there. It looked like Trevor Valera was getting held on the outside.
Yeah, they've called that play a few times, and then we saw a big run from Bernier get called back as a result of a hold that happened behind the play, but that time Hankey stayed in the pocket. And Portland with an opportunity here to scratch the 0 off the scoreboard. Try to get one on the board here.
Ball is just inside the 5-yard line. First and goal.
Valera trying to get his Eagles defensive teammates worked up, get them fired up here, try to dig in and hold this stand.
Late in the 4th quarter, Windham leads 42-0. The outcome here, academic. Final score, the only thing left to decipher. Moss is going to run it himself up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. 42-6. No flags. And Teron Moss, who's had a heck of a year, gets a touchdown here late to get Portland on the board.
I think it says a lot about Teron Moss. I think it says a lot about this Portland club. It says a lot about Coach Hartman. Marching all the way down the field, able to get a score, and really staying committed to the fact that even though they're out of this football contest, still able to go out there and get the job done.
Looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Or not. Maybe they'll take a timeout. Looks like they're going to take a timeout. Or not. Seems to be a lot of time in between plays in this one.
You know, for a running time second half, we've stood here and done nothing quite a lot.
42-6. Moss runs it off the outside, and he's going to get stopped shy of the end zone. And that will keep the score at 42-6. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics.
Calling it.
They called it. With running time, that will do it. We thought we were safe to take a break. We weren't. The Windham Eagles are your Northern A champions for 2017. Coming from the 4 seed, they had to defeat Cheverus, they had to go on the road to Edward Little, and they had to defeat the Portland Bulldogs. They did. They'll have a date next week with Scarborough or Thornton Academy. Not and/or. I don't think they'd make them go through the gauntlet.
Yeah, only one of them.
If only there was a gauntlet match for the championship. We'll take a quick break, and actually, you know what? We'll wrap it up here. I want to thank our sponsor, Spectrum Healthcare Partners. Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Also on the radio side of things, Hammond Lumber and Central Maine Community College for the game of the week on Maine's Big Z 92.7 Sports Time 780. We'll take a very quick break. Actually, you know what? No, we'll send you right over to Skowhegan and Lawrence. Windham Eagles are your Northern A champions. Final score, Windham 42, Portland 6. That'll wrap it up here. We will send you over to Skowhegan and Lawrence right now on the game of the week.